The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to inspect and test the new Fountain 43NX, the company's biggest center console to date. The 43NX is a luxury performance boat with a hull design adapted from Fountain's popular 38 Sportfish cruiser. She uses quad Mercury Verado 350 or Mercury Racing's 400R engines. There's no doubt this boat can fish, but she's tailored more towards the luxury cruising market. Let's see how Fountain mixes a little fishing, a lot of power, and plenty of class into a 43-foot center console. Our test boat was powered with the quad 400R option. The 2.6-liter inline 6-cylinder supercharged engine features dual overhead cams and 24 valves to accommodate sequential multiport electronic fuel injection. The advanced midsection with perimeter mounts greatly dampen vibration in the boat. The 43NX only offers the quad installation. Rigging tubes are positioned just about as close to the engines as possible. The hydraulic steering mechanisms are attached to the two outer engines and fed individually by hydraulic lines mounted beside the rigging tubes. Steering for the two center engines is accomplished using tie bars from the outer engines. Gunnels on both sides slope down to small steps all the way aft beside both outer engines. A small platform runs along the span between the port and starboard gunnels. There's a twist open inspection port at each end. Rigging tubes and hydraulics are mounted along the aft section. Teak non-skid runs below the transom bulkhead. There's plenty of room to walk between the bulkhead and the engine service tubes. However, rocket launchers mounted on the aft edge of the bulkhead take up some of that valuable space. Don't leave the stern area without seeing the light show, courtesy of the standard RGB underwater light system. The transom bulkhead has two walk-through doors for stern platform access from the cockpit. Fountain makes up for the limited swim steps with a dive door cut into the hull on the starboard side, just forward of the transom walkthrough. With the door open, a self-draining hinged deck hatch with gas assist lift reveals the integrated 4-step retractable ladder. A bench seat backs up to the transom bulkhead at 7 feet 2 inches long, and it will comfortably accommodate 4 adults. Here's an area where Fountain's attention to detail really stands out. Notice the stitched panels, custom stitching in a honeycomb pattern, and the Fountain logo. The padding is firm under the outer bolster and softer in the main part of the seat. Here's an example of Fountain choosing to build luxury into this boat. The seat has a 10-inch deep storage below, but the bench cannot be lifted and stowed to make extra cockpit room for wrestling that big catch. Fishermen haven't been forgotten though. Find rod holders built into the gunnels, including this one beside the hawse hole that leads to the starboard stern line to the undermounted cleat. Gunnel rod holders double as drink holders. The padded knee bolster beside the dive door provides added comfort and leverage for working fish up to the boat. The BULWARK bolsters begin at 13 inches above the cockpit sole and end at the 24-inch gunnel height. Another wide hatch supported by a gas assist strut provides access to systems and storage below the cockpit sole. The most prominent item in the compartment is the Fisher PANDA 5 kW generator. It runs on diesel fuel and draws from a dedicated 10-gallon tank. This is an important safety feature as CO danger is all but eliminated. The hatch also conceals quite a bit of the plumbing, including generator exhaust and cooling, fuel lines, and filters. 3 1,500-gallon-per-hour rule-mate bilge pumps are located in the compartments below the cockpit sole. The padded teardrop cocktail table and pedestal also stow away in this compartment. The adjacent compartment is dedicated to storage. Hefty powder-coated aluminum frame members support the sturdy hardtop. Another set of rocket launchers is fitted into the powder-coated rail that has multiple handholds below the top. The lift-top, waist-high compartment that makes up the rear portion of the helm seating could be mistaken for a cleaning and bait station. It's actually an optional cockpit galley. It includes a sink with faucet, an insulated cooler, an electric grill, 2 storage drawers, a pull-out trash receptacle, and dual refrigerated drawers. If we're going to be doing more fishing, the galley can be converted to a tackle center bait station. The sturdy fiberglass T-top with overhead storage box covers the whole console area, including helm seating and aft seating or optional cockpit galley. The top is wired with courtesy lights and bow and stern spreader lights. The carbon panel dash with LED push-button switches provides a next-generation look for the triple SIMRAD 16-inch NSS Evo 3 displays that include radar and broadband sonar module with trip technology. 4G broadband capability comes standard. Notice how the electrical switches are spread across the console rather than being configured in a cluster. The space below the MFDs holds a complete collection of controls and displays without appearing cluttered. VesselView 703 and MERC DTS are located adjacent to the Sea Star steering wheel that thoughtfully includes a steering knob. Helm seating features triple flip-up bolster seats with adjustable armrests. Angled footrests make longer voyages easier on the feet and legs. Moving forward along the starboard side, we see plenty of grab handles, including sturdy handholds attached to the hardtop frame. We saw a bit of the padded bolster cushions that run along the gunnel earlier. They extend nearly all the way from bow to stern on both sides. At 26 inches, the bottom of the bolster adjacent to the console is twice as high above the sole as it was in the stern. It meets the top of the 12-inch wide gunnel at 35 inches above the sole. The fine upholstery work we've seen in the stern and in the bolsters that line the cockpit continues as we enter the bow area. Chaise seating in front of the console is nothing short of elegant, not to mention comfortable. The chaise has headrests, movable armrests, fixed footrests, and cup holders. More comfortable plush wraparound seating lines both sides of the bow with storage below the cushions and in the sole. Powder-coated bow rails behind the bolster provide convenient handholds.
Fountain has used the space at the aft ends of the bow settees for soft-edge, top-access drink coolers, storage space, or optioned as live wells.
USB ports are conveniently located below the bow seating bolster, just forward of the drink coolers. The forward portion of the coolers is padded to provide chaise seating on both sides. Bow seating can easily accommodate 6 adults. Add the removable table for food and drinks, and the bow area becomes the party place for 8 people seated comfortably, and a few others if a crowd begins to gather.
The foredeck has an anchor locker with friction hinges at the lid.
The windlass and controls are located within easy reach. Anchor and rode are standard equipment. The anchor rides in a through-the-stem holder with striker plate. This new breed of longer, more powerful, luxurious center consoles create cabin space between the consoles and the bow. 2 steps down from the starboard side hatch forward of the console reveals a surprising 6 feet 7 inches of headroom.
Directly across from the companionway, a compact galley has a microwave, a glass sink mounted on a solid surface counter, and there's a refrigerator below.
The main electrical panel takes up most of the bulkhead to the left, just inside the hatch. Each of the 4 engines has its own battery, along with a 5th house battery. A door just beyond the panel opens into the head. The head includes the toilet, sink, storage, and shower, along with ample headroom. Queen-size berth makes up the forward part of the cabin.
Opening port lights to both sides provide light and ventilation.
Fountain powerboats have become known for speed and style. Quad-only engine options are a hint that the speed tradition is alive and well. The Fountain 43NX has a 12-foot 3-inch beam and a dry weight of 15,800 pounds. With 2 people on board and 178 gallons of fuel in her 500-gallon capacity tanks, test weight of the boat was estimated at 17,288 pounds. She was powered by 4 Mercury Verado racing engines developing 400 horsepower each and turning 24-pitch Bravo 1 FS 4-blade props. We recorded a top speed of 73.4 miles per hour at 6650 RPM. Best cruise came in at 3,500 RPM, where she averaged 35.8 miles per hour, burned 35 gallons per hour, or 1 mile per gallon, for a range of 460 statute miles, all while still holding back a 10% fuel reserve in her HD aluminum 500-gallon diurnal EPA-compliant tank. At speed and up on steps, she rides with her bow down slightly more than we'd expect from 4 big outboards hung off the back, and that gives her good wave penetration. We recorded 0 to 20 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, hitting 30 miles per hour in 8.2 seconds. These numbers are impressive, and remember, she's 12 feet wide, carries 500 gallons of fuel plus fresh water and generator diesel. Comfort is always the enemy of speed, and vice versa. Fountain seems to have found a pretty good balance with the 43NX. The Fountain positive lift double-step hull provides a stable flat ride. She was quick to respond to the throttle. The 4 big MERCs also account for nimble turning and maneuvering out in the open water.
The 43NX will certainly get noticed showing off near the dock.
And that's our full inspection and performance evaluation of the Fountain 43NX. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.